Sheffield, United Kingdom, Day 1. Today, the 5th day of November 2011, Sheffield has started its first day of occupation. To date, over 900 cities around the world are currently being occupied in solidarity together. London, Birmingham, Manchester and Leeds, to name a few, are already occupied, and now Sheffield has been added to this growing number here in the UK. Before the occupation of Sheffield can take place, the people who are about to start the occupation had a general meeting on the steps of Sheffield City Hall to discuss and decide on what location would better suit the occupation and message for the people of Sheffield.
We were told that the cathedral, which was one of the sites we were looking at, we're going to use the Ecclesiastical Act of 1860, over 150 years old, against us to get us off their land. This involves brawling and lewd behaviour and disturbances in a churchyard. Well, we went to try and tell them that we had no intention of any of this sort of behaviour, but they weren't very friendly and basically told us they didn't want us there. So we just want to share the information with you, because obviously we're going to vote on the places. I believe the choices are Devonshire Green, Peace Gardens, or the Cathedral.
Winter
Gardens. Winter Gardens would be nice, wouldn't it? Is everyone happy to vote out of those three?
What's it called? St. Peter.
Is there anyone that objects to that? Can we go with a vote out of those three?
Did everybody hear the decision? The choices?
Devonshire Green, Peace Gardens, and Cathedral Square. Is everyone happy? Yeah.
What's wrong with outside City Hall?
There's a Remembrance Sunday service.
I mean, not City Hall, I mean Town Hall, sorry.
Town Hall, there's loads of stalls because of the markets. There's nowhere really.
There's a big patch of ground straight outside.
Okay, if we want to add that to the list, I'm happy to add that to the list.
Can I just say...
They've set a precedent in London using St. Paul's.
Yeah.
Why didn't they bring in that law then?
Because that's church property, not a churchyard. That's the difference. That's why they had to scrape the barrel with a 150-year-old law in this case.
Johnny Laws.
So even the forecourt.
That's a churchyard, apparently. That's what the forecourt is.
Sorry, yeah.
I think it's time for civil.
I'd just like to make a couple
We have God on our side.
just 2 points. Number one, if we choose the cathedral, are we not maybe linking the Occupy movement in the UK too much to church property? And number two, if we're wanting to make points about capitalism and corporatism, might it not be sensible to think about a corporate target?
Well, do you have a suggestion?
Can I just say one of the reasons...
Sorry?
Can I... excuse me?
Hands
up if you want to speak, please. It's consensus here. One of the things I'd like to say is the reason the cathedral was put on the list is it's directly opposite the Cutler's Hall, which is where the rich and powerful of Sheffield meet, particularly in their run-up to Christmas, for their big bashes. It's also opposite RBS. It's round the corner from Lloyd's, which are the two banks that are owned by us. Okay, that's why it went on. That's why personally I'm in support of that location.
And it's near the Blue Moon. You can get fabulous food.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I'd just like to talk about Devonshire Green. Can I ask people to vote against Devonshire Green? Because to be honest, it's so far out of the way. That's where they want us, where they can just ignore us basically.
Are we happy to? One of the main points for me as well is it's absolutely one of the best parts of the city for people to walk through. You have a lot of people walking down towards Castle Market, you have a lot of people walking up West Street, you have a lot of people coming up Fargate, you have the trams going up and down. All parts of the day there are so many different ranges of people passing through. If we're wanting to engage with the people of Sheffield, personally, that's my... So, yeah.
Hey, just a question. If we go to the cathedral, will it mess up any Remembrance Day services?
We had a look at the site, and our intention was not to obstruct the entrance to the cathedral. There's quite an obvious kind of curve around the entrance, and we were going to totally leave that free. There's plenty of room on the rest of the square, which, to be honest, nothing really goes on normally. I think will improve the area.
They've had light shows on there. They had that huge structure projecting light things in a big huge balloon that covered the front. Not that long ago.
There is a concert taking place next weekend as well, and one of the things is about this discussion that we're having is I've got friends that are part of it, so why would I want to impose.
We don't want
you know,
to obstruct.
We don't want
wherever
to
we go, we're not intending to instruct.
There's been weddings and stuff happened at St Paul's and London while the occupation.
You know, our intention is not to disrupt, to hinder. I can see everyone sort of saying the same thing. Why we are here is to state we have had enough, and you know,
to help
we are
spread
not
the
alone.
message and be an info point for the Occupy movement.
Sorry, yeah.
No, that was just me agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should do like a poster like St Paul's has with the hand signal.
Yeah, definitely. We will once
That's
we set up. Is everyone happy that we vote then between, is it 4 we've got now? Yeah?
Can I just talk in favour of City Hall?
Yeah, absolutely.
Town Hall.
I just feel Town Hall's just as close to all the banks and stuff like that, and instead of, as someone that you said, that it's kind of attached us too much to church property, instead we are going for political property, which I think is personally a better target. And plus there, we are still next to all the banks, we're straight outside a very political building, a building that should be ours in the first place anyway, rather than being told that we can't use it or we can't go near it or whatever, because it's our building in the first place anyway, as Sheffield people, like so. Yeah.
I was just going to say that I feel that the cathedral's reaction has been very corporate, and that they're thinking about bricks and mortar and forgetting that first and foremost they're a church and they're supposed to be spreading the Christian message, and I think that's a reason to choose the cathedral as well.
Can I just make one point and continue? There is also Remembrance Day stuff actually put outside as well, so it doesn't just take place here. If I remember right, there's a big cross that's normally placed, and people do actually put memorial crosses down as well. And I just think if you can do anything, just to keep everyone on our side.
It's about the 99%.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to reply to you really. So take your point about the political target, but in one sense, we've got the option of the Peace Gardens, which is just as much in that area of the town hall anyway. So I think if you're wanting to go for that option, vote for the Peace Gardens. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, hopefully we'd grow big enough to reach around the corner if we did.
We should be occupying the cathedral because these people died in the First and Second World Wars. We built the welfare state. We built the welfare state after the World Wars, and that's what they're systematically destroying. So why don't we go back and we become a big part of the Remembrance Sunday?
They were part of the 99% too.
Yeah.
The soldiers that died were part of the 99% too, weren't they? You know, so we should, if we're going to the cathedral, we should all attend the Remembrance Day service. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just see a show of hands, just to sort of, is everybody okay with where we're at? Does anyone have a point they want to make or another option around?
To ask, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, how the cathedral administration, how would it feel about
how
the cathedral administration actually feel about us setting up shop?
The cathedral have made it quite clear that they don't want us, and we wanted to open a discussion about what we were protesting and what the point of the Occupy movement was, but they weren't interested in.
But we have had
actually alienated people to go to the cathedral. Are there a lot of people?
I think that our message is in line with the Christian message, and that the members of the congregation will agree with what we've got to say.
More people than we ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a gentleman there, Andy.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I'm not from Sheffield, so I'll make that clear, but it seems to me that what you want to do is to start the occupation in a place where the people of Sheffield are going to support you being there, where it's not going to cause too much offence. I'm all in favour of taking the argument onto the banks and the corporations and so on and so forth that we need to target in this. But the thing is that if we start an argument straight away before the camp's got going, it's going to preempt what we're going to do later on, because the purpose of the camp is to get the people of Sheffield who are the victims of the cuts to support it and to bring food and be part of it, even if they can't camp every night. So I think choosing the thing really wants to be dead in the middle of where the people who are pressing against are, but without causing an initial argument which is going to risk having it disrupted before it begins.
Well, we were never going to get permission from the cathedral. Yeah, but it would have been nice to have a conversation at least, rather than just sort of hostility.
Yeah, I'd argue in favour of the Peace Gardens, because I think what you're saying is right. If we're not going to get any form of support from church, it's a bit different to what's happened in London, because they have actually had the support of people within the church. And it'll be really, really difficult. And I think it's a medium way between what you're saying about outside the town hall, do you know what I mean? So I think the Peace Gardens is the ideal spot, really.
But this is why we're going to vote, and we'll go with the consensus.
They'll turn the water on us.
Sorry.
Somebody told me that Peace Gardens was private land. Is that not so?
Well,
Can you repeat what people are saying?
PFI,
Really quietly.
sorry, there's a message going around that the Peace Gardens is actually private land. I actually have a response to that. We met up with one of the city management staff members who wanted to speak with us, and South Yorkshire Police, and they actually said they actually wanted to offer it as one of the places that we could actually be part of. So,
do we have enough passing traffic there, or are we going to be able to engage enough people that don't know what we're here?
Yeah, it's a key point in Sheffield. It's the centre.
Peace Gardens where they want us to be.
It's the
centre
centre
of
of
Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Coming at Christmas, a good excuse to move us on.
Christmas markets. Whenever they choose.
The back corner where the stage is for tramlines normally.
What's over the fountains?
Can I just mention something? I was going to mention that basically if you set up shop in front of Town Hall, that's a lot more visible when people go shopping in Fargate. Whereas if you set up in the Peace Gardens, that's quite the back doors.
So do you want to add that to the list?
Okay,
then,
so we'll actually add that. Yeah. Okay.
Town Hall, yeah.
Okay. Oh right. So we have 5 places. We have the Peace Gardens, the Town Hall. I'm still going to put Devonshire Green forward just because it's what just seeing everyone's face there. Okay. The Cathedral. Oops, another as well. No, is it those 4? Okay.
So can we decide on how we're going to vote for this as well? Because
yeah, I was actually
want to vote for multiples and stuff, and people might want to whittle one out because if we don't have town hall. Okay, I would suggest that people can vote for multiples simply because I would pick Town Hall as my first choice.
Would we have a 1 and 2 for shows of hands?
Just raise hands and we count for which has
general consensus and 90%. If it's 90%, we do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Jackson just said. I mean, again, sort of thing. Do a general consensus, and if it appears to be over 90%, then that's a straightforward yeah. Okay. Right then, everyone. So, Devonshire Green. If you can, if you want to accept, go like that, so we can see it. It's like a clap, but it's what's known as a silent clap. So, okay. Devonshire Green first. Is anyone in favour of Devonshire Green? Okay. Consensus. Right. The Town Hall. So that's 30 people. Yeah.
Have you counted this lady here?
No, I didn't. Sorry, that's 40. Okay. Next is the Peace Gardens. That's 11. Yeah. Okay. And the last one, the Cathedral. Is everyone okay about being consensus? Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay, just a point to raise the fact that if they do decide that they want to use this ecclesiastical law against us, a disturbance, the legal definition of that would be lots of noise and lewd behaviour, and so we suggest that if we're going to do the cathedral, we take it quietly. Is everyone alright with that?
Sorry, yeah.
Shall we at this point then take a vote on whether or not the camp will be dry? Alcohol dry?
Yes.
I don't think we can place that rule in, because what if people just want to have a couple of drinks at there? And there's a lot of people around who may have alcohol problems.
Set up, and then set out once we have our first
and actually, yeah.
I think we might do that in celebration tonight.
We're not going to
Yeah,
okay.
So, sorry. Before we go, well,
can I just make one suggestion to try and emphasise the point that we're serious and that we're doing this for everybody. Let's not make huge amounts of noise as we go down there. Let's be professional, calm. Let's be nice people doing a nice thing for the 99%. Yeah?
Like that? It's pointless.
Okay, just one last thing. I've got this statement that I actually want to read out, which is from the Occupy Together movement, which is the global movement, yeah. Okay. Right. The ultra-rich have us by the throats, and they have had us by the throats for a long, long time. While the rest of us suffer through a worldwide economic crisis, the people at the top are just getting richer. In a 2006 study, the richest 10% of the world owns 85% of the world's wealth. The world's richest 1% own 40% of the world's wealth. Bear in mind, that's 2006, not 2011. For the rest of us, nothing gets better. The government is attacking education by closing libraries whilst hugely increasing university tuition fees, attacking the most vulnerable by reducing benefits at a time they are most needed to protect against spiralling inflation, and attacking our children's inheritance by trying to sell off our national assets like the forests and the NHS. But an international movement has sprung up to challenge the foundations of our global system of corporatism and greed. It's a protest movement qualitatively different from any that has come before, a uniquely 21st century form. It's a movement without party politics. It's a movement inspired by the advances of communication that have allowed us to function without authority, allowing every voice to at last be weighed truly as equal. It's a movement that doesn't bring a list of demands to the powers that be, but instead suggests that we can build a different society. The wealth that it takes to get us out of this mess is right in front of us. We know because we're the ones who created it. We designed and built the cities, we fly the planes, crunch the numbers, grow the food, write the software, and do everything it takes to keep this society running. All the wealthiest do is sit there and watch their money make more money. The wealth is right in front of us, and yet they tell us there isn't enough to feed us, to educate us. They are lying. Maybe they're lying to themselves, maybe they're lying to us. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. We do not need them. We are the 99%, and we are more powerful than they will ever be.
In the next video, you will see the welcome they received from Sheffield Cathedral when they arrived just 7 minutes later.
Do you mind turning it off for 1 minute, mate? Excuse me, it's a private conversation. Do you just mind turning it off?
In public. I'm sorry, I can't.